Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make patches. Now, do you have a font on your computer that you think maybe that will look nice in a design or maybe look nice in a patch? Well, in this video I'm going to show you how you could use a true type font from your computer and turn it into an actual patch. Now this is what I'm going to teach you how to do today. I'm so excited and I know you're going to be able to learn something new in this video. So if you do, at the end of the video, stay to the end. At the end of the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notification bell so you'll be notified each time I make a video. Alright guys, let's go to Embrilliance where I teach you how to make this. And I'm using Stitch Artist 3. Now the first thing I'm going to do, so in order to do this, you're going to decide what size patch you want. So in my case, I'm going to do a patch that could fit in my 4x4 hoop. In order to get your hoop size, you go up to preference and you're going to see all the hoop sizes that is available. You're gonna choose your format. In my case, I'm using PES because I'm using a Brother PE 900 to do this project. Now what you'll need to do is to check all the sizes. This 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter is the 4x4 hoop. If you look where I'm hovering, you're going to see that it is showing 4x4 in inches, and then you're going to press OK. So the next thing I want to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a true type font to create this patch. Now, true type means the fonts that are already downloaded on your computer, that are already installed on your computer, that is a true type font. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over to my left. Now I'm using Stitch Artist level 3. In order to do this project, you will need Stitch Artist 3 in order to do it. So I'm gonna go over here. When I'm over into my left, you're going to see this double T, that is your true type art font. I'm going to click on it. When you click on it, a window is gonna come up and it's going to ask you to type the text that you're gonna use. In this case, I'm gonna type the word loved in small caps, and it's gonna ask you to choose the font. If you click down, you're gonna see all the fonts that are available on your computer. In this case, I'm going to choose this font that's called Gladys Script, and I'm gonna press OK. So when it comes in, this is what it's gonna look like. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit to about 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So this is what I am going to have. Now when I do this, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on the L, and I'm just gonna scoot it over because I want it a little bit closer to the rest of the words. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm just gonna select everything. So what I want to do is to unite this font. Now, if you look at my screen, if I zoom up, you're going to see that between the letters, they are not actually joined together. So that's the first thing I want to do, is to just union these scripts. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over to my objects panel. I'm just gonna scoot over my D just a little bit, just to make it a little bit more uniform. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to click on all the OVED, because those are the ones that are actually joined, and I'm gonna go up here to where it says logical union, and I'm going to click on it. When I click on the logical union, it's gonna look like nothing happened, but I'm gonna go over here on my objects panel. You're going to see at the bottom of this all the letters that are highlighted. There's something that says union. Now that's the one that I'm interested in. That's the one that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click on the O, the V, the E, and the D, because what I did to select that, I press shift and I click on each of the letters, and I'm just going to press backspace and delete it. Now you'll notice that all the letters are joined together, which is what I actually want. Now I'm just going to click on the union, click on the Gladys script L, and I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to group that together. All right, now when you have this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this art, because now these are not stitches, this is just artwork. I'm gonna change the artwork to stitches, and I'm gonna change it to a tatami stitch. So I'm gonna go up here to the middle of my top right panel, and I'm gonna press fill. Now what that's gonna do is gonna create a fill stitch in that true type font. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the color because I don't like that color, and I'm gonna change it to maybe a softer green, and I'm gonna press OK. To change your color, all you have to do is go to your properties, right where I'm hovering, down to my left, my lower left, and I'm gonna change the color. Click on it, and then you choose whatever color, you press OK. All right, now that we have this, what I want to do is to look at these stitches. So I'm gonna go to fill, I'm gonna look at the underlay and see if it's something that I want. Now the pattern that we're using is tatami. All right, so if you look down here, you could choose whatever pattern you want, and I'm going to click on the third icon, which is the underlay property. Now for this, I think I'm going to put a contour. Contour is like an outline. I'm gonna press T on my keyboard, and I'm gonna show you what is actually happening underneath. So I'm gonna leave it as contour. So this is like the skeleton of the design. So you notice that this is the underlay. This is what's gonna kind of give the stitches, allow it to give it some stability, some stitch. So I'm choosing the contour and the perpendicular, and that's gonna be okay for me. So the next thing that I'm going to do, when I'm okay with it, if I click on it, I'm okay with contour and the perpendicular. That's okay for me. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the patch from this design. Now with all of it selected, I am going to go up to the top where you see path, this right here where you see path. I'm going to go over to the fourth icon that says create an outline from stitches on this page. I'm going to click on it. When I click on it, if you look over my objects panel, you see that it created two outlines. You cannot see the outlines here, but it created two outlines, one from the big L and one from the OVED. Now, without clicking off, I'm going to go back to where it says path. Where it says path, and the last icon that is up there on my top menu, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to inflate the stitches. The same outline that we made, we're going to inflate it. So I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna inflate it about 7 millimeters, and I'm going to remove the holes. Okay, I don't need the holes, I just need it to be inflated. So I inflated it by using this slider, inflate it up to 7.6, and then I'm going to remove the holes, and I'm gonna press OK. When you do that, you're going to realize that it's going to have a bubble around the loved, what you're going to do is actually go back to where it says, with both of them selected, the outline selected, you're going to go back to union and you're going to unite those stitches. When you unite those stitches and you look to the bottom, you're going to see that it created one shape around your object. I'm going to click off and then I'm going to click the outline and the other outline, and I'm going to delete it because I don't need that anymore. Now, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have an outline around the stitches that you, around the word loved that you just did. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the outline. I'm going to check my nodes. I'm going to, these little bubbles that you see are called nodes. I'm going to check if the nodes are looking good, if there's not a lot of them. Sometimes you could remove some nodes, but I am okay with this because I actually like the shape that it gives around the word love. So I'm going to leave mine just as is. But if you're doing another word and you don't like the shape and you want to manipulate the shape, you could go ahead and manipulate it by removing nodes and by double clicking on a node to remove a node, or adding a node by clicking. Okay, so when I have this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ensure that my union is selected. Okay, my union is selected. I'm going to click on, go up to my middle bar, the one in the middle that says stitch. You're going to click on run. So you're changing it now from artwork to run, but I also need to change the color. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to click, I'm going to change it from green to just another color. It doesn't really matter what color it is, but please ensure that the color you choose, it is different from the word love. Now, when I do that, what I'm going to do, on my objects panel, I'm going to click on the run and I'm going to move it to the top of the page. Okay, I'm going to move it so that it's the first thing that's stitched out. This one is going to be the stitch that you use to place your fabric. This is going to be your first placement stitch. Okay, because it's a placement stitch and I'm okay with it just being a single run and a 2.5 millimeter. The next thing I'm going to do, with the run stitch selected, the same stitch that we just did, I'm going to go over to my left where you see copy, where I'm hovering right over here. I'm going to copy it, and the next icon beside it, I'm going to paste it. Now, when I paste it, it's going to give me a duplicate at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go to my properties, I'm going to click on the color, and I'm going to change that color again to another color. Doesn't matter what the color is. Click on it, and then I'm going to go back to run, and I'm going to change that from a single stitch to a double stitch. Now, this is the stitch that you're going to use to cut out after the patch is made. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and move this run to the second icon in my objects panel. So the first item is going to be a placement, and then this run stitch is going to act as a tack down stitch when you're doing your project. Now, when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make another duplicate of this. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to press copy, right? I'm going to press copy. That would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th icon in your top menu bar. I'm going to press copy, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste again. Now, this one that I've pasted is going to be a double run. I don't need it to be a double run. I'm going to need it to be a single run, and I'm going to change the color again. Now, this one is going to be helpful when you cut out your patch and you need to place it again. So I changed the color. I'm gonna go to run, ensure it is a single run. Now I'm going to go ahead again, and I'm going to copy and paste again. So I'm gonna paste another one here, but instead of making this a run stitch, I am going to make it a satin border. Okay, so this satin border will be the edge of your patch. Now this is what it looks like. I'm going to just put it in true view. This is actually what it looks like. So let's look at the properties for the border, the satin border. I'm going to click on it, and I realize that there's a lot of nodes here. I'm going to just double click and take away that node that's right there. Okay, see, I just double click that node. I don't think it was necessary there. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually go ahead and look at how we want our satin border to look. So I'm going to work over now on my properties panel. So here on my properties panel, I'm going to look at the width of my border. I like my border to be 4 inches, so I'm just going to click on this and move my slider up 1. Yours is going to be defaulted to 3.5. You could keep it at 3.5, or you could change it. It just depends on your preference. And the density, I'll just leave it at 4. And is what we have. We don't need none of these. This is just asking you if you're doing an applique, if you want an applique preview or whatever. I don't need it. So this is actually ready to be cut out. The only thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna center my design. So I'm gonna select everything, and I am going to go ahead and center the design. So I'm gonna go to view, I'm gonna go to utilities rather, and I'm gonna go to center design. Now this patch is 3.5 inches by 2 1/8, which is about 2 inches high and 3 inches wide. You could go ahead and adjust it if you want. If you want it a little bit bigger, remember to always go back and go to utility and center in your hoop. And this is what you have. This is what it's gonna look like. You could change your color if it matters. It doesn't matter. It depends on just what you're going to use. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to actually show you how this stitch out and how you could do the stitch out. All right, so this is what you are going to have. This is how you could use a true type font to make a patch. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring you over to the table and we're gonna test this out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save it as a file, and I'm gonna save it as a stitch and working file. Go to the patch, and I'm gonna save it as a PES file. Now I'm gonna take you to the machine and show you all the materials that you're gonna need to be successful. Okay guys, so let's talk about the materials you're going to need. I'm using the Badgemaster backing, heavyweight black backing film. I'm gonna show you how I would use this to get your patch to be very clean. we're using a 4x4 hoop because that is what we designed the patch for. You're going to need, if you're making this an iron-on patch, you're going to need heat and bond light. You're also going to need cutaway stabilizer. So this is cutaway stabilizer. Now, so the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to hoop my stabilizer. Now, the material that you're going to use, it depends on you. I'm using felt. I'm going to use felt to do this project. If you're using twill, be sure to put the stabilizer, not the stabilizer, the heat and bond light on the back so that it doesn't fray. But felt, I like using felt because it doesn't fray a lot. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hoop my stabilizer. So you're gonna hoop this, ensure that it is very tight. You don't want it to pop out while you are embroidering. So I'm gonna hoop my stabilizer. Still needs to be tighter. After you hoop your stabilizer, we're gonna go over to the machine. Okay. So what you're gonna do to get your design, you're going to click on this little button. You're going to click on the little USB icon right here. You're going to search for your design. This is the one that we did. I'm going to press set. So this is what it looks like. Let me take it down. This is what it looks like. Remember, you can make your patch as big or as small as you like. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to press embroider. I'm going for embroider because it's right in the middle. That's where I want it to stay. Now this is not going to take very long to stitch out. So what I'm going to do, it looks like I need some more bobbing. So I'm going to just take this out. I'm going to put my hoop on and I'm going to start the machine. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put my presser foot down and I'm going to press start. Okay, so this is the placement stitch. Because we made the other stitch a different color, the machine is gonna stop. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put my felt down. This is felt. I like using felt because I just like how it looks. You could also use twill if that's your preference. Okay, so what it did is that it made a double stitch. Remember, we did the second one was a double stitch, And now what I'm gonna do, I am gonna go ahead and I'm going to let the words in the patch stitch out. So I'm gonna go ahead. Okay guys, so it is done, the words. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take it off the machine. See, this is what it looks like. Looks pretty. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you over to the table and we're gonna cut it out. Okay guys, I thought I was recording, but I took it off my hoop, and what I'm gonna do, I am going to go ahead and cut around the edge of this. You're gonna cut close but not too close so that it pops the stitches. Okay, so you're gonna cut it close, not too close, not close enough to pop the stitches. And that is why I told you to use a double run, because you don't want it to go ahead and pop. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut around this. This is what you're going to have. Okay, so after you do this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hoop my badge master. Now you could go ahead and make another put some tearaway stabilizer at the back to just give it a little bit of stability, but I'm just gonna hoop my plastic by itself. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to this one I don't waste, I use it sparingly because it's expensive. I'm gonna put the link of everything here. If you want to do the badge master, I'm gonna put a link where you can find it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to hoop my badge master. Ensure that you hoop it tight, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hoop this. Still not tight enough. You have to hoop it really tight. If you have a mighty hoop, this is gonna be nice for you. But I'm gonna hoop this. Sounds okay. This is the tightest I could get it, and I'm gonna put this back on my machine. All right, so it's on my machine. It's clear. You're not gonna be able to see it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make that other stitch, that placement stitch. Okay guys, so you're gonna take now, you're gonna take your temporary adhesive and you're going to, let me move this over a little bit so you could see. Let me move this over a little bit so you could see. You're going to take a temporary adhesive, this is the patch, and you're going to spray a bit on the back. Oops, sprayed my hand, but look at that. You're gonna spray a bit. Yeah, just to tack it down. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull it out because I want to place this exactly in the hoop. See that? sure that it's placed exactly in the hoop. Ensure you place it exactly there. And I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. Then I'm going to make the final stitch. I think I brought this up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hold it for a little bit because now it's going to do the satin stitch. Okay guys, it is done. I'm gonna take it off. Look at how beautiful it looks. All right, let me take it to the table and show you. Okay guys, this is the final result of the patch that we have made in Embrilliance Stitch Artist 3. Now, this is the fun part. All you have to do is push it out. Look. And I'm gonna show you how clean this patch came out. Oh Lord, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. So beautiful. Loved. Now you could create whatever you want. You could even go ahead and put loved and then maybe put a scripture there, John 3:16, or loved by God, loved by, you know. But this, oh baby, it looks really nice. You could put it on a hat, you could put it on a jacket, you could do whatever you want with this patch. Now, one thing I need to let you know, that the plastic is still at the back. See, the plastic is still there. You will need to take that plastic off. You need to take that plastic off. It's a must, because if you're going to make this a iron-on patch, you will have to use the heat and bond light at the back, and you can't do it with the plastic. So I'm going to use my little tool and take it off. See that? So this is the plastic that was on it. You take that off. Now you could go ahead and put your heat and bond light on the back. Take a piece of heat and bond light, put it at the back like this. Remember, this part of the heat and bond light is the part that goes to the patch. So you put it on like this, and then you heat it up, and then you're gonna have your iron-on patch. You could also go ahead and sew it on. It just depends on what you want. So if this video was helpful, remember to give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on that post notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I make a video. Until we meet again, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.